Alright, let me lay it out. No theatrics, just facts. My facts. Picture this. Me. Leaned up against a grimy ass bathroom wall downtown San Antonio. Higher than Jesus on Judgment Day. Pupils dilated like satellites. It just ripped a line that hit me like a chainsaw dipped in battery acid. Eyes burning, chest tight, bathroom reeks of piss, bleach, and lost time. I kicked that door open, stumbled into that hot ass street. Sunlight hit me like I owed him money. I ain't even halfway down the sidewalk when boom! Something motherfucking invisible sank right into my chest, like a freight train built out of hate. I hit the ground gasping, like for real. It felt like my soul slipped its leash for a second. I staggered up, and that's when the real weird shit started to kick in. People just dropping everywhere. Like sleeping angels falling out of heaven in real time, bro. Boom, down goes a dude in a suit. Bam, a chick with a stroller. Face first into the concrete. All around me like dominoes in a damn windstorm. But they wasn't dead, no. No. I checked. Breathing slow. Like in comas or something. Calm, peaceful. Too peaceful. I stood there, tweaking, shook, like a glitch in God's machine. Shit was fucking wrong. And it wasn't just a one-time thing. Every block I wandered into, same story. People slumping over, mid-stride. Drivers passed out behind the wheel. Cars just rolling until they crashed or stalled. Kids curled up on sidewalks like they were taking naps mid-tag. I'd scream in their ears, I'd shake them. Nothing. It felt like a dream. It really did. A bad one. The kind where you're the only one awake and the whole world's already dead, but they don't know it yet. I tried to call someone. Phone didn't work. Tried breaking into a pharmacy. Alarms didn't go off. It was like the rules had all been paused, like I hit a button and glitched into a side quest of reality. And I could feel it, man. Not just see it, I could feel it. Like the air was thicker around me. Like gravity itself had doubled down on my chest. So what did I do? I walked. I kept moving, trying to make sense of it. Maybe it was the drugs. Maybe I'd OD'd. This was hell, on loop. But it didn't feel like a trip. It felt real. Too detailed. It was too sharp. My senses were wrong over time. My senses were working over time. Every little noise had an echo. My own breath sounded like thunder. Everywhere I went, people were just frozen, like statues made of flesh. I stopped trying to wake them up after a while. It hurt too much. The silence, the stillness. It was like walking through the world's biggest morgue. But everyone was still warm. I tried writing on things on walls, spray painted messages like, if you wake up, find me. But no one ever did. I found a stray dog one day, and nearly cried. It like barked one time, growled, and ran when I got too close. I chased it for 5 fucking blocks until it ducked into a sewer grate. That was the closest thing to life I'd seen in weeks. And then came the lights. At first it was just flashes, quick flickers like broken strobes on the edge of my vision. I turned, nothing there. Then one night I saw him, out of nowhere. Poof! 6 figures standing across the intersection. Tall, black fatigues, gas masks that looked like they were welded to their face. Body armor like they stepped out of a sci-fi nightmare. No words, no hand signals, just motion. They moved like they practiced it 1,000 times. They just started picking people up, whole ass adults, like they weighed nothing. Toss them into these long black semis that seemed to pull up from cracks in the pavement. I shit you not, these trucks weren't driving. They were arriving, materializing. I ran up to them and I screamed, what the fuck is going on? They didn't flinch. One of them walked right past me like I wasn't even there. And that cut me deeper than any ghost I've ever known. After they loaded up the bodies, the lights returned. Blue burst, almost angelic. If angels had PTSD, then pop, trucks, gone. No No skid marks, no sound, just gone. And then the soldiers followed, one by one. They just blinked out. No portal, no fade, just white lights and nothingness. And then it was just me. Just me. I stood in the street for what felt like days. Time stopped meaning anything. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I didn't even know if I could. So I walked for 7 years. I left the city. I hiked highways, railroads, fields, forests. Everything was frozen. Sometimes I'd find weird shit. Candles still burning in a church. Showers still running in gyms. A TV on with no one watching, playing static. I mapped cities on napkins. I wrote in journals until they fell apart. I was chasing something. Proof I wasn't alone. That I hadn't gone full psycho. But there was nothing. I talked to myself until my voice cracked. Then I stopped. For 10 fucking years, I didn't say a word. My mind became a graveyard full of unopened letters. My clothes, they rotted off. I built makeshift shelters, and I ate anything that moved. I watched the seasons change like background animations in a bad video. And then I finally cracked. It was like a Thursday or some shit, I think. I was starving, ribs poking through my skin like prison bars. I hadn't heard my own voice in over a decade. And then I just whispered one word. Why? The air bent, no sound, just pressure like the atmosphere inhaled. Then poof! A figure appeared. Some of them, they had the same uniforms as the last time. Same mask. But this time they didn't ignore me. They moved in like a SWAT team surrounding me. "You're coming with us," one of them said. And I laughed. First time I'd heard were made in 10 fucking years. So they put me in a black room. No windows. Fluorescent lights. Looked like haunted eyes. Doctors came in. Scientists. Spooks. They scanned me. Tested me. Monitored me while I slept if I could sleep. They told me I wasn't human. Not anymore. I was a Category 8 reality bender. A fucking walking apocalypse seed. They said I created mimetic hazards. Basically, my presence puts people into deep unconscious states like forced comas across entire cities. I leak reality, like some kind of open wound in the timeline. They showed me footage, worlds collapsing, timelines folding, people just ceasing to exist. Said I came from a place that doesn't even exist anymore. Maybe never did. They weren't sure. I'm the gap in the equation. The sneak. Every timeline I pass through bleeds out the seams. They said I'm not even alive in the traditional sense. I'm like the echo of something that should have died a millennia ago. They don't lock me up anymore. I transport data packages now. Artifacts from dying timelines. I'm the mule of the multiverse. They call me when shit gets too strange for even them to understand. I go in, retrieve what's left, bring it back. Sometimes I hear whispers. People calling my names in languages I haven't heard and existed in eons. I don't ask questions. Because the answers, they're worse. Every day I feel the weight. I see cracks in people's faces, like porcelain masks just barely holding it together. And I know when it's gonna happen. I can feel the dreams start to build, pressure in my temples, a hum in the ground. I am the signal. I am the wave. They call it containment. But it's really just a countdown. And the closer I get to understanding what I am, the faster that clock ticks. I ain't afraid of the end. I'm just tired of being the only one awake to see it coming. They kept me locked down for years after they found me. tested, tagged, watched like I was loading nukes with schizophrenia. But over time, after a few hundred missions, after surviving realities that screamed when they died, they started to trust me more. Clearance levels went up. I wasn't just a ghost walking the edge of timelines anymore. I was staff. And that's when I found the files. Buried deep, redacted shit. Locked behind 8 levels of security and only accessible in that humming black chamber they call the crypt. I wasn't supposed to be there, but curiosity is a sickness and I was terminal with it. Turns out, all this shit's been happening forever. We, the Foundation, the government, whoever really calls the shots, we've been resetting humanity over and over and over for thousands of years, maybe more. See, cities, they aren't just cities. They're structured grids, massive antennas disguised as neighborhoods. You ever wonder why power lines buzz? Why the air in cities tastes metallic? Why streets, layouts mirror sacred geometry? They're wave emitters. Every goddamn city's built like a transmitter. These power towers, the ones that they tell you are for electricity, they ain't sending power through no fucking wires. Electricity don't travel like that, bro. It's in the fucking air. It always has been. What were they really transmitting? Sleep. At the end of each 20-year sandbox cycle, those towers, boom, they activate. Boom, waves ripple across the population like an EMP laced with NyQuil and ether. Every soul caught in it drops like marionettes with slick strings, peaceful, empty. And then the sweepers come. Foundation black trucks, government ghost teams load them up. Everybody packed like meat into convoys, transported to fresh zones, new, fake cities built in prefabricated simulations of reality. And when they wake up, it's 1980 again. Now listen close. I ain't talking no metaphor. I mean every single person. Your mom, your neighbors, that dude at the gas station you argued with last week. They ain't real in the way that you think they are. They're caught in loops. Every 25, 30 years, the towers reset me. Memories wiped. Timelines revised. The illusion of time is just that. It's an illusion. There ain't no 2025, no 2001, no Y2K. It's always 1980. Always begins again with roller skates, Cold War tension, and Atari dreams. And they feed them a simulation, history, fabricated, media, auto-generated by AI so advanced it practically is reality. Everyone thinks they're moving forward. New cars, new phones, same debt, same grief, just reskinned. Meanwhile, the real date? 2560. That's what I found. Buried in a black room marked with an Ouroboros, a snake ate its own tail. Year 2560 and humanity's been immortal for hundreds of years. Nobody's died in ages. Death? Obsolete. An error in design that they corrected. You want to know how? AI. They asked it one simple question. How do we stop death? It answered genetically, biologically, memetically. Said to cut it at the roots. So they did. And now no one can die. Not really. They just loop, forget, and reset. You ever feel it? Deja vu so deep, it makes your teeth itch. That dream where you wake up in a life you already lived, that feeling like you've been here before, you did this already. That's because you have. They got these sandbox zones, bro. Hundreds and thousands of them. Pocket realities looping like old cartoons. One day, you're going to school in Arizona. The next, you're in a new sandbox thinking you're from Jersey and you always have been. They swap it like software updates, erase the seams. Some of us slip through the cracks. Anomalies, glitches, awakened entities. That's what they call us. People who see through the static and remember bits of past lives that never were. You feel like you're crazy. Good. That means you're close to the truth. And me? I'm not just close. I'm the goddamn access point. They told me I'm a Category 8 reality bender because I don't fit the loop. My presence breaks simulation integrity. I leak the truth like blood from an open wound. They said I can't die. Not because I'm immortal, but because I don't belong in any one timeline long enough to be killed. I'm always being rewritten. I am the break. So now I walk between sandboxes, collecting data and transporting artifacts. Spread whispers. Some days I think I'm still asleep, stuck in that wave from the beginning. But most days, I know I'm not dreaming. I know what year it really is, and I know the next reset's coming. And when the towers start buzzing again, I ain't going under.